You can't keep a good horror franchise down. Michael always returns, and Jason always lives. There's always a new haunting or possession for amateur ghost hunters and seasoned priests alike. Here's looking at you, Russell Crowe. And sometimes they come back. Or, in the case of this week's latest new horror sequel, sometimes they smile back. After the hit that was Smile from breakout horror director Parker Finn, Finn returns to write and direct the sequel, Smile 2. Picking up 6 days after the first film, the movie opens to a brilliantly chilling cold open, showing us what's become of Joel from the first film and connecting the chain of victims from the first movie to those haunted by the unnamed Smile monster in this film. Smile 2's story proper picks up with Skye Riley, played by Naomi Scott. Skye is a famous pop star and recovering addict, who recently survived a car crash that killed her actor boyfriend Paul Hudson. Left traumatized and with a long scar on her abdomen, Skye struggles with the pressures of fame while dealing with PTSD and her overbearing mother, who's concerned more with Skye's fame than well-being. Skye's psychological state, already fragile, begins to spiral completely once haunted by the Smile entity, leaving Skye fighting to discern what is and isn't real as she seeks a way to stop the entity. Smile 2 is a smart and chilling psychological horror film that improves greatly upon its predecessor. While the themes and scare tactics are much the same, the story, characters, and overall presentation of both the psychological and horror aspects raise the bar. Smile 1's lead, Rose, is that of a therapist treating patients in a psych ward. While the first two tries to blur what's real and what isn't, the idea of a psychiatrist's descent into madness, while interesting, was never as effective as Smile 2. Skye is a pop singer under the stereotypical pressures of the industry, on top of drug use and PTSD, is a trope seen in other films, including other horror films and psychological thrillers. Yet, while Smile 2's setup may not be wholly unique, what Parker Finn does with it is smart, chilling, and far more effective than both Smile 1 and similar psychological films such as Black Swan. Naomi Scott giving a fantastic performance as Skye, with Rosemary DeWitt as her overbearing mother, Elizabeth, and Dylan Julia as best friend Emma. The characters and their relationships are well developed and acted, making for more engaging characters than the first movie as well. Parker Finn has shown solid growth as a director. Visually, Smile 2 feels much more unique than the first. The kills are often more gruesome, though none felt like they went too far or felt out of place. The deaths themselves are not just shocking gore on its own either. Solid suspense and visual moments of people and visions behaving in unsettling ways build suspense and unnerve you leading up to the gorier bits, creating a much scarier and effective horror experience. Top it all off with an excellently done bit of practical effects for the finale, showcasing a fantastic bit of occult pulp horror that may be hit or miss to those depending on how you felt about the first movie's ending, though I myself thoroughly enjoyed the spectacle. Smile 2 is a sequel that didn't need to exist, and was one I never felt I wanted. That said, unlike the recently released Joker 2, Parker Finn gives us a movie that proves why it should exist, improving on its predecessor in every way. I don't know how long the Smile franchise will have legs, as I still think it's a premise that can only be stretched so far. That said, Smile 2 is a welcome sequel that makes me want to binge it and the first again back to back. I give Smile 2 3 out of 4 stars.